Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel for another very exciting Lego build. Obviously, today we'll be building a set I've been waiting for a very long time, and as a huge Lego and a huge Lord of the Rings junkie, I'm very excited for this. This is of course Barad, or the Eye of Sauron. I was actually surprised. I thought they would have named it the Eye of Sauron. Fun story. This was leaked to me by the Lego employee years before I actually had a YouTube channel, did anything Lego related for like Instagram or for content creating, anything like that, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. I have this knowledge 3 years beforehand, and now it's finally come time. I was so excited. I was told that in the Lego store actually by like a Lego employee, not in this state. I forget what state I was in, and I just happened to be at a Lego store, and she was like, oh yeah, it was, you know what? It was when like Rivendell came out, and she's just like, oh yeah, Barad coming soon. I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, don't say anything. So I just had that on my conscience for a while, so behaved, never said a word. But here we are, Barad is officially here, and then this starts actually not just a big build, but a big project. Behind me, I've cleared out the entire wall space for what is going to be the Battle of the Black Gate. Cut out sneeze. And I'm so excited to do it. Obviously, the Battle of the Black Gate is a set from years ago. And it is, it's expensive, to say the least. Now, I know a lot of people have been complaining about the minifigure lineup in this one. I'm honestly okay with it. Sauron alone makes this set amazing, and not to mention just the sheer size and depth of it. This is also part one of the base plate for this guy. I built a 48 by 48 completely blacked out base plate that it is going to sit on. Now it is completely plain because I built it obviously before I built this set, and I would like to meld in the lava or maybe do like a little pool of it and stuff like that. So I will be upgrading the base in the future, but I've already recorded like the intro for that and all that good stuff. So I don't know if I'll be directly building on it, because that is a bold move. I haven't decided yet, or if I'm just going to get to a decent point, build it, and then press it down. That's kind of probably what I'm going to be doing. So this is going to start a huge project in many ways. So very excited for that. Can't wait to build an army of Rohan and Rohan and Gondor behind me, and I just can't wait for all of that. I gotta pause this. I gotta blow my nose. And I think it's going to look just awesome. So I've been doing a lot of the blueprints. You can see Gandalf's holding down the fort back there. But it's gonna be awesome. What am I not excited for? The cost of the minifigures. I mean, between Gandalf the White, Éomer, and Aragorn, it's about $200, which is just obscene. Okay, a little under, like a 150. It's just nuts. Like Gandalf the White and Aragorn alone are like 80 each, depending on if you got like with the swords, the king. It's just nuts. So I'll be buying the Black Gate in full, which is a $500 set, which is just nuts. It basically, the little Black Gate will cost the same as Barad, so it's just insane. But I'm really excited for that project to start. That'll be probably more July on, just because between this, the Great Hall, and the city, I need a break in June. I have enough sets and enough videos that I'm already done with June. With this and the Great Hall at my feet, I'm already done for June. I've got a pure lineup coming soon. The Fell Beast, of course, which is the free set, which, you know what, I should actually have out. There. The free gift with purchase. I also have a surprise little minifigure that I built related to this set, so I'm really excited for that. I just launched that across the room. Sorry if this intro is a little all over the place. I am beyond excited for this. I sneezed 100 times in between this and my last sentence that I had to like cut out. Hopefully I did a good job. But I'm super excited for this. Now, as for the set itself, it does retail for $460. It is 32.5 inches tall by about 18 inches as a base, which is just massive. It contains 5,471 pieces, 10 minifigures, and this is my second biggest build ever in terms of pieces. The Ninjago City Gardens edges it out just a little bit, and the third most expensive set in my arsenal, the UCS Venator from Star Wars and the Avengers Tower, both egg it out just a little bit, and then of course right behind it, which you'll see. The Lion Knight's castle just coming in a little bit behind. So this is a landmark set for me in so many ways, and I'm super excited to do so. I think it's going to be my second tallest building. With the base, until I mills plate the Avengers Tower, it'll probably be the tallest, but I'm just super excited. The base is also double stacked just to give it that extra oomph of strength, so super excited for that. We will be building the Fell Beast on this channel as well, just not today. Today is Barad Day. The Fell Beast, I'm actually going to try and pose like flying around this eventually, kind of what I want to do with like dragons and stuff for Harry Potter. So that will be done in the future. Just I need to focus on Barad, and I also work 50 hours a week plus outside of this channel. So as always, this build is going to take me a little bit, but don't worry, I have plenty of 2024 releases and stuff like that already scheduled for June, plus the city and all that good stuff. So if you're interested, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel out a lot. I'm super excited. I bought a Gondor shirt for this. I ordered this off of Amazon. It's terrible quality, super thin, and I love it. I'm so excited for this. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Follow me on Instagram if you guys are interested. You get a sneak peek and all this stuff, and I'm taking it super seriously now, so it's really great. We gained about 200 followers in 5 days, so it's been pretty cool. Really like it, really like talking to you guys, sharing some behind the scenes stuff, and getting away from the being involved in this channel, but also getting away a little bit, being able to share like cool photos and all that good stuff. So follow me on there, like, comment, subscribe if you can. Helps the channel out a lot. Now let's get started in this amazingly awesome, huge, and incredible build. And I'm going to re-binge all of the extended series of Lord of the Rings while I'm doing this, because I'm a madman and that's what I do. Alright, I'm going to take a quick break from the actual hyperlapse build just to show you guys part one, since this is a massive set. Getting the halfway point done, and the base is obviously going to be kind of where I want to show it off. This thing is insane. I love the like intimidation factor behind it. Like, it looks mean, and that is awesome. The lava detail is fantastic. It is beautiful and extremely unique to this set as well. I absolutely adore this thing so far. I think it looks fantastic. There is, of course, some repetition going around the outside. That's going to be with any big set. As I usually say before, repetition is kind of a Lego thing, you deal with it after a while. But this thing is sick. The gate is not entirely my favorite design inside, but honestly, I'm not going to complain too much. Speaking of the interior details, I will show some of them off before I move on with the build. You have a unfortunate either former human or elf in his little forever cage here. Poor guy. The actual opening gate mechanism ran completely across and uses a little piece out here to actually work the gate itself, so pretty cool. You can also close it that way. Mine sticks just a little bit, and I think that is an error on my part, so I'm not gonna ding it too much for that. I might actually put a small board, like a little 1x4 inside, just because I'm not actually going to be utilizing it, and I kind of don't need it to move on its own. So I might actually just like enclose that with one piece. Easy take on, take off if I decide I want to open it eventually, but for now, just considering this is going in a back corner,
of a huge display. I'm not going to entirely be too worried about it. I also am going to try and put this on a base plate to build it, so I'll be doing that, probably next. I won't be doing the lava details just yet. That's going to be this whole separate video, but if I can place this on its base plate now, try and kind of get my bearings, even if I don't secure it, even if I just say, yeah, that's going to work, I think that'll be okay for me, so we'll see. But right in here, we do have a blacksmith forge, complete with tons of very valuable gear. These helmets are going to be awesome for somebody like me who's trying to create an orc army. It is very expensive. I just ordered Aemir, his horse, and a Rohan soldier with a couple shields. It was $89, so it's nuts. This project is going to be a little disgusting, but I'm very excited still to do so. We have the rock work going into the actual side here. And I'll show it off the best I can. This is a bit large for my recording area. And then right here is actually the mechanism to open and close the gate. You obviously have this rock work that's going to continue up the side, and it breaks away from that traditional just intimidating black, brown, that dark gray factor from the outside. But this thing is wicked. The actual staircase, which I do want to include, continuing to go down, looks fantastic. Part of me wishes the base plate I should have done maybe gray for, just to meld in with the bottom here. I can always obviously switch that if I'm not going to secure this into it today, but I'll take a look after I'm done just talking about this portion here, and seeing kind of what I want to do in the future. But this thing is sick, very, very much so. I absolutely love it. I think it looks amazing. It looks scary. That's obviously the whole point behind this set. It's an intimidating piece, and I absolutely adore it. I think it looks fantastic, and it looks wicked so far. I don't have the Tower of Orthanc, but I am curious what they look like side by side. I've tried to avoid seeing anybody's reviews for this just because I want my own experience behind it. And as a huge Lego and Lord of the Rings junkie, or just obsession, I think it looks awesome so far. Now I'm going to take that 48 by 48 custom base plate, and I'm going to see what this all looks like and get your guys' opinions on it. It's always a humbling thing when you make a massive 48 by 48 base plate and you're like, oh, that'll fit. And it fits. It fits. If you ignore the overhang, this is actually bigger than a 48 by 48. I didn't know how far over that these things actually hung on the side. I secured it down. I'm doubling down my life on this one. It's in. It fits. It's there. It's solid. Don't get me wrong. Lifting this feels like a Venator class, like a UCS ship. It is obscenely heavy. We're talking thousands of pieces just to get the initial base plate, and the actual tower done. I obviously want to tile all this off, lava, maybe a walkway, some figures, whatever else. I'll do that in the future. This is about just making sure it's secure. While it is one level, this is the best time to do it, in my opinion. I don't want to have to rebuild this anytime soon. And moving this is also a lot more secure. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. And I added two, I think 1x6 or 1x8s to the gate so that they would match. You can't even tell that I essentially barred them closed. And honestly, it looks pretty nice. So I am happy with how that turned out. Fitting this behind my desk, there's going to be an awkward gap right here. I'm going to have to figure that out. I'll do that on my own time. It's going to be a pain. I know it is, because what I'm talking about, just a little overhang that's going to be up against the wall. Part of me said I might just rip this off. I still might. Not now. I might rip that side off, just because you're never going to see it again anyways. It's going to be up against the wall, but for now, the double base plate really adds to, I think, that intimidation factor, because it just looks insane. And you know what? This is nice practice for when I do the medieval castle behind me, when I do mills plates for Rivendell. I want to get out of the just, here's a base plate. I want to build custom mills plates and really thick displays for stuff like Rivendell. For this, for Hogwarts, I've started doing some custom work on the side while doing this, and a little beforehand, and I'll do so after. And I'm excited to start doing more stuff detailed based, even if it's just, here's part one, building the mills plate. adding some details, getting the colors picked out, and then you just order your pieces for the future. I still got to secure some of these, which is what my ADHD is doing while I'm doing this speech. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at. 48 by 48 base plate, double stacked, completely blacked out around the outside, and then there will be a Mills plate in front of this, and then another one, and then a half base plate. So like there'll be more attached to this as we go throughout this project. I just kind of wanted to break this video up a little bit and do, here's like part one of the build, and then I'll continue right after this with the hyperlapse build for the rest of the tower. I'll probably show it off one more time, and then like the final build, go over the minifigures, and then talk to you guys about like my initial plan, and then show off like where it's going to be in the room, all that good stuff. So I did just want to break this up a little bit so it's not just one massive build like I've done in the past, but I didn't want the regret of like my Avengers Tower is the only building I haven't Mills plated in my city, because it is going to be a nightmare to take that thing apart and actually like redo it for a Mills plate. So I didn't want any regrets. I wanted to get this done, and I can get fancy with tile work. I'll order 3,000 little yellow pieces if I have to make this work. That's fine. I'd rather the little detail work on the side rather than having to completely uplift this thing and move it. So I just want to talk to you guys about the base plate we're going to be working with. So if you skip the hyperlapse build and you skip this part, that's where the base plate come from. But yeah, so thank you guys so much, and I will continue on with the hyperlapse build now. Alright, so here we have part 2 of this massive build. This is going to be the dining hall and the overall second area. To the tower, we have a couple little offshoots here to add that depth and the height to it as well. Very, very cool. I love how this unique pattern is around the actual outside of it. It looks fantastic. It does slide in, which I will do once I'm done just talking about this floor again. I just kind of wanted to make it a little bit more detailed since it's a large build. It's a little bit harder to show off at the end. Here we do have the dining hall. We have a couple seats, a shield that I'm going to take out for the actual armory after all of this, hanging some supplies in the back. You do have this support beam going across. You can kind of pick it up by it. I would not very much recommend it, but it is relatively solid overall. This little curvature pattern on the inside I think looks fantastic. We have a little hanging dish over here with some plants, some carrots, and some bones inside of it, and of course a little casket of whatever they're drinking, considering there's dark green drops. I don't want to know. And a little barrel, a couple more seats in the back, and then we have a pot, some chicken legs, some large bones. Over here there's a little Easter egg, and it's a menu sign, and it just has a symbol of meat on it, obviously for the famous line slash meme of, I guess meat's back on the menu, boys, when one of the orcs kills the other and they, you know, have a good time. So yeah, nice little Easter egg there, which is very cool. Then we do have this cool offshoot, which is going to be part of that rock column that we were working on from before. Like I said at the beginning, these little archways look fantastic going across the top, and then another small tower offshoot here. Very, very cool. I love it. I would love to enclose this tower one day. I don't necessarily need the play features of it, but I do think it's really awesome, and they did get very creative with some of these floors, especially like this. I think it's really cool, and I do love all of these, like, they almost look like little shelves going across them that are tiled off. I think that looks fantastic. Now let's put this as part of the other tower, take one look at the first 2 floors, and get moving. This thing is just a behemoth, and I just destroyed one of the little towers. I'll fix that later. This thing is just sick looking. I love it. Super mean, super bad looking, in a great way, of course, and I absolutely love this set so far. It looks just fantastic. Now I've just knocked another tower piece down. This is not going well for me today. I think I've been building for about 4 hours today-ish. It's been a great day. I love this. And then, of course, you turn it around on this massive hulk of a Mills plate, and you see fits in there perfectly. I love this little rock work going around the side. I think that looks fantastic. And then, so there's a couple little grooves here, and then a little groove over here. And then on the front portion, there's a couple little 1x2 latches. I believe that's the size. That essentially just clamps it in, and then you can slide that out. If you're moving this, if you want to modify anything, it will separate kind of like a one huge modular building. I think this is looking fantastic so far. I'm so excited to see the final product in person. I'm hoping I can get it done today before I go to the Lego store tomorrow. I want to grab a couple of the sets that I didn't get with this. I have the Great Hall, obviously. I have the little Legolas and Gimli brickheads. I want the Arrival, excuse me, and then like Shalob's Attack, or like Shalob's Lair. Obviously, the Arrival is not the smallest one in the world, but I would like to get a couple of like the smaller little $20 sets or so as well. So, kind of mixed it up here. This is obviously going to be my biggest project for a while, but I do want to do some smaller stuff for along the side. I'm also hammering out the Harry Potter project. Rather than invest everything in the Black Gate, and I actually decided this yesterday into today, I'm still gonna keep working on this project, but I'm waiting just a little bit to invest a lot more into it. I'm going to utilize what I have, order some minifigures, and then start building the armies, and then do a video like down the road on this in the next month or so, for sure. Just with the dollar amount that this costs, plus the project and everything I need for it, Harry Potter is going to kind of get moved on with. And then once I get that to a point where it's like, all right, now I can add details and scenes, I'll move on to this. So that's kind of how I'm selling this to myself and my future wife at the moment. She's going to come home and see this and be like, and we're going to the Lego store tomorrow. So I'm going to have to convince that. But I'm very excited for this. This thing looks awesome, and it is very much, you hear that price tag and you're like, I hope it looks cool. This looks, so far, in my opinion, like more impressive than the Avengers Tower. The Avengers Tower looks amazing, but like you're gonna look at this and it's just so different. I absolutely love this. So I'm gonna get started on the rest of this hyperlapse build. It'll probably just be I don't know if it's one more part or not, but I'll probably do the rest in one fell swoop, and we'll move on from there, everybody.
like do this angle for like the reviews, because obviously, you know, it's too wide of a view. I want to get a little bit more detailed when I review it. The only thing that I can say when I look at this is, wow. It's sick. It is awesome. By far and away, one of my favorite Lego sets I've ever seen. By far and away. I don't know if it'll beat Daily Bugle, because Daily Bugle is my current favorite. In my opinion, it beats the Avengers Tower. I don't know. I mean, I love the Avengers Tower. And the only reason I'm really comparing these two are because $470, $500, similar piece count. Avengers Tower has a lot more minifigures, but this is also a little bit different. Obviously, that is more like cityscape. That is where I have mine. As a Marvel collector and as a city builder and a city collector, that's perfect. As a Lord of the Rings guy, and someone that just really appreciates just massive sets and displays, this thing's wicked. It is incredibly unique. I think the only thing that would resemble it, the Tower of Orthanc, and even then, height, yes, but obviously no lava base. It's not as big on the bottom, so that's really the only other piece that's similar to this. Like, you can build skyscrapers and stuff like that. I'm not taking away from the Avengers Tower. Still one of my all-time favorite sets by far and away. I don't know. I like this more. I just do. Here's the light brick. Look at that. I can't wait to rig that up with different lights, because the light brick is cool, but where it's going to be in my room, right behind me, it's going to have to change. I'm shooting this at like midnight. I'm half asleep. I have spent 12 hours today building this. Building this, just doing some run house. This has been my entire Saturday off, and it's a day well spent. I love this thing. It is absolutely fantastic, in every way, shape, and form. I mean, look at Sauron. Look at the minifigure scale compared to this. This dude's already going for like $140 too, so he's gonna be stupid expensive. It's amazing. It's just amazing. It really is. This is like, I'm so overjoyed to have built this, to have bought this on the release day. It's exciting. I can't wait to go to the Lego store tomorrow. I'm gonna look at this and be like, wow, look at it. And I have it in my office. It's amazing. I absolutely adore it, and I'll show you guys like a better view of it, and I'll go around with my new little phone stabilizer and show you everything, go over all the minifigures, the little details. We've already covered it, so if you skip through the hyperlapse build, no hard feelings, I promise. I did cover like individual floors. The only thing I didn't do is from here on up, just because I decided to just do that in the final review. So this thing's just wicked. I am gonna rip off this corner just to fit it back there a little bit. That's gonna be it. I'm not gonna have to modify anything. Essentially, I'm just gonna rip out this little piece right here, shove this against a wall, and then start the Battle of the Black Gate. It's just so cool. It's genuinely, it brings a smile to my face, and I absolutely adore this set. It is awesome. I tried to hyperlapse build it the best I could. It actually wasn't too bad, just because they like built it in individual like steps. It honestly made my life a whole lot easier. And I'll rotate it really quick. And you know what? Being on that mills plate actually really does help the rotation here. Look at it. It's just so cool. Here's the little light break. You know, you just press that and then you're good. All of these pieces are actually locked in. You pull these like little levers here. Like, look at that. You got doors. It's just so cool. It's just so cool. Sauron's little throne. I love it. I absolutely adore it. If you're watching this video and you're like, man, I don't know if I should get that. If you can responsibly buy this set, and I say responsibly loosely as a Lego collector, it's worth it. It just is. It's just awesome. This is so cool. If you're deciding between this, Rivendell, tough. I chose this over Rivendell just because it's new. I wanted it. Rivendell was actually, I was going to buy either that or Helm's Deep. Obviously, I decided on this one over Helm's Deep, Rivendell, Tower, all that good stuff. I have it, you know, when you buy it at like the launch of a really big set, especially with like the Nazgul gift with purchase, which is going to be the next expansion for this, it's cool. it's exciting. I'm excited to go tomorrow and like see all the new Lord of the Rings stuff in person. Like obviously, in person, but like at the store and all that good stuff. I also picked up one of the new little exclusive minifigures that kind of go with this set. So I'll show all that off. I just wanted to give kind of like the scale. Like, it's cool. It sits higher than me when I'm in my chair. That is wicked. This thing's absolutely just incredible. It's amazing. By far and away one of the best sets I've ever built. Now let's take a closer look at all the details and the minifigures. Alright, so we'll start with the minifigures first, and obviously we've got to start with the big man himself, the one that pretty much everyone, I would imagine, is most excited about, and that is Sauron in Lego form for the very first time. His helmet piece is absolutely wicked, and you can see underneath you have that black and almost like lava, a fire type face. Just looks fantastic. This piece is actually like plastic, well obviously plastic Lego, but it almost has like that rubbery feel to it, which feels absolutely awesome. Amazing torso print and leg print as well. Back print follows suit, and he carries that giant magical mace as well. So very, very awesome figure. I think, just by curiosity, I was looking at a couple of these figures in case I wanted doubles, and I think he's like 120 to 140, so, he's going to be an expensive one. Then we have his first lieutenant, well, you know what? I would say the Witch King's probably above this guy, I'm honestly not sure, which is the mouth of Sauron. Obviously a very creepy character, found in the extended edition of Return of the King. He is basically Sauron's little helper in the Blackgate community, and he sports the awesome torso print as well, and a wonderful leg print. I mean, these are awesome looking figures. If you're wondering what the face looks like, eyeless and a giant mouth. That is the stuff of nightmares right there, folks. Sporting his sword and a cape as well. His helmet, while smaller, is made of the exact same like style material as Sauron, so very, very cool. Now we move to Frodo. I have his entranced face in with his typical garb, holding the ring. However, you can also do his plain Jane looking face as well. I just decided to do the entranced version because I'm going to obviously have him with the scene of him, Sam, and Gollum fighting over the ring, basically, on this little pedestal. I'm not going to include this anywhere, probably. I mean, I suppose I could do that there, maybe? I don't know. Undecided what I want to do with this just yet. Because I might have it, like, as its own little display in my Lord of the Rings shelf, but I have not decided yet. Then, of course, we have Samwise Gamgee, his sword, his light. I'm surprised he doesn't have, like, an angry face. Like, this one's just, like, a little bit of a scowl. I would have thought they would have put, like, a meaner face on him, considering, he's attempting to kill Gollum and all. Then we move to the first of the orcs. He's actually their blacksmith. So he does have this ironworking tool, holding one of the orc swords, and of course, well, Thor's hammer, technically, but a blacksmith's hammer. He sports some very tattered up armor with that green skin and a nice hairpiece as well. What's cool is the orcs actually do sport a double-faced side as well, a double-sided face as well, and you can see like the tatters on the armor, which I absolutely really like. Great minifigures. I know minifigures are like the hot debate here because people wanted more. I could see more. What I honestly would have liked more than any of this, except for Sauron, is the first, like, troll. The first dedicated Lord of the Rings troll would have been my absolute favorite, because it doesn't exist. And as somebody who wants to build this scene, I'm going to have to use, let's see if I can reach it from here without knocking anything down, like a castle troll. It'll work, but like, these are 40 to 50 a piece. I have 4 of them, but they're also all in use on a different display, so that's the only thing I would prefer. Now, we do move to another ones of the orcs. These move to like the light brown and then the dark brown armed skin instead of like that green or the tan. The armor is a little bit cleaner than the blacksmith guy, but still a little tattered as I throw it off my desk. And then, of course, does sport that double-faced side again. Then we move to another one of the named characters. This is Gothmog, sporting some pretty cool looking armor with the red trim. Now, if you're not familiar with who Gothmog is, he's the Witch King's first lieutenant, so one of the higher ranking orcs. He is essentially that really
creepy looking dude who leads the siege of Minas Tirith along with the Witch King. The one who famously like spits on the rock and says, "Stay where you are." That is Gothmog. So if you don't know who that is, that's him. So he's actually a major player in terms of like the actual villains of Lord of the Rings. Not quite like Azog or Malthazar or anything like that, but he's obviously gets some serious screen time. Then everyone's favorite and least favorite little character of Lord of the Rings, Gollum. Very creepy, got those blue eyes, that little hunchback. It's a creepy figure. It really is. We move to the last two, and then you have this guy enjoying a nice sausage from the dining room. Again, cleaner armor than the blacksmith, but the next guy has some pretty beat up ones to make up for it, and he has a nice different little helmet on here as well. Then we move to the very last of the orcs, who's actually ready for battle. That tattered green armor, the pointy elf ears, I absolutely love it. And then the actual back has some fur on it, so very, very cool in terms of the minifigures. Now, when we move on to the actual like baseline of the set, we've already gone over most of this, but again, I do want to encase this in something eventually. I'm not sure if I want to contain the lava to here, and then maybe just gray this off so it's not like lava that would be overflowing, and maybe do it like down the side or something. That is something I definitely could do, so I'm undecided. Let me know what you guys think. I should do for here. I can do lava, but then it's going to really make it hard for like filling an army essentially from here on out. So that's why I'm thinking I'm going to do rock work in here and then maybe have it like lava going back the other direction. I think that's the best bet. Again, I did bar the door just to make it a little bit easier on display sake since I'm not going to be opening them. And I do think I might put the little like Frodo and Sam all the way up top. I think that could be a good feature. I'm unsure where I'm going to put Sauron yet. Obviously, he could work in the throne room, but I don't necessarily want him there. I suppose I could have him like on the battleground, but it really doesn't make sense. I'm glad this turned so easy on the Mills plate. And then, of course, we'll take one more look just like at that background before I just finish up on the top portion of this set. This is just awesome. It's so cool. I'm really happy with this. Now, obviously, I do have some gap behind here, but it's not going to be enough to actually enclose this. I was trying to make it work, and I just don't think it's going to. So rather than enclose this at the present time, kind of just going to let it ride. This will be up against the wall anyway, so I'm not going to be too worried about seeing it. But now let's take a look at the final stages of this set. Alright, here we have the first of the stages we haven't covered yet, and that is going to be Sauron's throne room. Of course, the throne's looking wicked itself. We have a couple of the Mordor flags in the background, but what's really cool is you can extend it here, or I shouldn't say extend, right where these tiled floor pieces are. Good lord, that was not pretty. There's a little extension piece. I'm actually shooting this right after I woke up in the morning. I did the first part of the review last night, but then I built this for like 10 hours straight, so I passed out pretty quick last night. We have the little planta, and then we have a couple sticker pieces, and then in the background you can see is a map for his siege. So very, very cool little room. From there we move up into a study, sporting some dragon material in there. We even have Frodo's mithril from when the Hand of Sauron comes out in the extended edition and says that they've killed Frodo. So very cool there. A couple axes and some torches. Then we move over and there are some sticker pieces for some scrolls and a letter as well. So very, very cool. I don't know why my camera is not focusing. It's really trying its best. We have a little mural in here of Sauron. I'm sure he's a big fan of that one. And then we move up to the top. And it's going to be a library, which is a very cool inclusion. Obviously not the safest library in the room, given that there are skeletons in there, but very cool. There's also a rotating ladder. Surprisingly enough, I can barely rotate it with one hand. I'm struggling. Very, very cool. There's some sticker pieces in the back. And then, of course, the Eye of Sauron. And I'm going to switch it around, too, so we can see it from the way down. But then this is also that light brick we talked about from earlier. Alright, and then here we can see it from the top to the bottom. So you can actually see my little Lord of the Rings Magic the Gathering display in the background too. The eye just looks fantastic. As we go down, you can really just experience how much of a presence this thing has. I love how the windows look like they're glowing, but it's actually just like 2x6 pieces of orange with that graded tile in front of it.
just the rock work too is just very impressive. This thing is insane. Just absolutely love it. So now that we're done with the review, I am going to rip off this portion here just to sit it flat against the wall, show you guys what it's going to look like behind my desk, and that's going to be another review down, folks. Alright, well here it is behind my desk where it is going to stay. I ended up putting Sauron here. Mouth of Sauron just kind of underneath for now, and then Gothmog leading the crew. Over here, these are something that I'll showcase in a future video more. They are obviously not real Lego, but I gave myself a pass on these since Gondor doesn't exist in the world of Lego just yet. I did order these for like $25. They're pretty cool. Very shiny, very nice figures. I'm excited to form an army with them because obviously, you know, we only have Rohan. And even then, good luck building a Rohan army for under a few hundred. I did put Frodo, Sam, and Gollum kind of on that rock piece there, just hanging off. I know it's not scene accurate, but I think it looks pretty cool and it adds something a little bit different to it. And then I will have to kind of crouch you guys up a little bit to see the actual eye, just because my tripod sags just a little bit with a heavy, 24 Ultra on it. But I love it. I'm really excited. Now that we have the scale, what we're going to eventually do, I'm probably going to have to move my microphone mount that I never use anyways, is Mills plate these base plates here, these black base plates, which are just completely blacked out as of now. They'll probably be black, brown, but I'm hoping for so many minifigures and stuff on it that's not a totally big deal. I want a little bit of a gap. I would love to do the Orc Forge, that old set, and then the Black Gate, and then like a big battle scene here. However, the Orc Forge is going to make it tough if I want to build like a pure army, which is why I said I might gray these out instead of lava them, just to have more of a base for like an army. Because I'm gonna, obviously this is what, about 4 base plates. That doesn't leave a huge amount of room when one of them is that. So it is going to be a little bit tough to fit everything in here. It is tough for me to actually fit a size, a height of this set in this room with a base that big. It's actually, I completely redid the entire room just for this set lately. So I'm excited. Not excited to edit this video because it's going to take a long time, but this thing looks awesome. By far and away one of my favorite sets ever. My only gripe, if you touch anything on the bottom portion of this or that rock panel, it breaks. That is my only gripe. It is a little finicky. Like, it's built like a tank everywhere else, except for a lot of these portions that you just kind of hit by accident. And as somebody with like pretty decent sized hands, reaching inside to try and fix some of this stuff, oh, it was a little rough. So my only complaint, but absolute 10 out of 10. I don't care what anyone says. This set is awesome. Very, very happy that I ended up buying it. And like, I'm gonna walk into my office now and I'm gonna see that first, and it's just sick. I absolutely love it. Well, that's just gonna do it for this review, folks. Thanks so much. I know this is going to be a pretty long one, but it's worth it. Witness the Eye of Sauron. Plus, if you didn't see the teaser for this video from Lego, they had somebody like drop a little brick and pick it up and see the Eye of Sauron, and she's like, "We see you," and it was so cool. Well done, Lego. Do more stuff like that. Do more creepy stuff. I love it. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Like, comment, and subscribe if you can. Helps the channel out a lot. Helps really support, giant builds like this, which take up way too much of my paycheck. Follow me on Instagram if you want to get a little sneak peek of projects like this and things to come. And then stay tuned for the Fell Beast coming up soon. The Lego Lost and Gimli Brickheads. Tons of Harry Potter, Star Wars, all that good stuff. I have months of content ready to go, pretty much, and I'm still filming more every day. Now I'm off to the Lego store to spend some more money. Happy building, everybody.